सर हमारा जॉब डेस्क जॉब है, कॉर्पोरेट जॉब है, 9 to 9 रहता है। कुछ लोगों की शिफ्ट 6 to मॉर्निंग की रहती है एंड दे लैंड अप विद प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ हैविंग नेक पेन एंड बैक पेन। सेकेंडली कुछ पेशेंट्स का कैसा होता है सर, मेरी सीटिंग अलाउ नहीं करती, मुझे गाड़ी की ड्राइविंग बहुत लंबी लंबी रहती है, उनको लोअर बैक पेन होता है एंड इसका काम होता है स्टेबिलिटी देना, घुटने को स्टेबिलिटी देना, रनिंग में अब ऊपर चढ़ने में नीचे चढ़ने में ये स्टेबिलिटी प्रोवाइड करता है। टोटली अगेंस्ट ऑल दोस कमर्शियल्स एंड सप्लीमेंट्स दैट आर मार्केटेड वेरी हेवीली इन आवर एज ग्रुप।
नमस्ते एंड वेलकम टू द ऑर्थोपेडिक केयर पॉडकास्ट। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं बोन्स, जॉइंट्स और स्पाइन हेल्थ की, जो आजकल देखें तो बहुत ही कॉमन प्रॉब्लम्स हो गई हैं। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि आज के पॉडकास्ट के थ्रू आप अपनी लाइफ को थोड़ा और पेन फ्री और एक्टिव बना सकते हैं। आज हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर मोहित शर्मा, एक वेल नोन ऑर्थोपेडिक स्पेशलिस्ट। डॉक्टर शर्मा हैज डन हिज MBBS and MS Ortho. He has also completed his diploma from SICOT and has completed his fellowship in spine and spinal deformities. He has also done fellowship in joint replacement. With more than 11 years of experience, Dr. Sharma काफ़ी patients की help कर चुके हैं in restoring mobility, treating spine and joint issues और एक healthy lifestyle वापस पाने में। इस पॉडकास्ट में डॉक्टर शर्मा आपको देंगे एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस, कॉमन मिथ्स को करेंगे क्लियर और समझाएंगे कि आप अपने जॉइंट्स और बोन्स की सही देखभाल कैसे कर सकते हैं। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं और मिलते हैं एक ट्रस्टेड स्पेशलिस्ट से, डॉक्टर मोहित शर्मा। वेलकम टू द पॉडकास्ट डॉक्टर।
थैंक यू मनमीत फॉर द लवली इंट्रोडक्शन। देखिए, एवरी डॉक्टर आई थिंक हैज़ अ वेरी सिंपल गोल कि हमको पेशेंट को पेन फ्री रखना है और उसको जितना हम एक्टिव रख सकते हैं उतना एक्टिव रखना है। एंड आई थिंक दिस इज़ अ वेरी जेन्युइन स्पेस जहाँ मैं फ्रेंडली इंटरेक्शन कर सकता हूँ एंड पेशेंट्स के बैक एंड नी प्रॉब्लम्स के रिगार्डिंग जो उनके मिथ्स हैं, रिगार्डिंग सर्जरी, रिगार्डिंग देयर डायग्नोसिस, रिगार्डिंग हाउ टू प्रोसीड, मैनेज कैसे करना है, प्रिवेंट कैसे करना है, वी कैन डिस्कस एंड शेयर सम वैल्यूबल टिप्स।
Why do fractures happen in elderly people and how can they be prevented?
So fractures happen in elderly people because these are also called as fragility fractures. जैसे जैसे हमारी एज बढ़ती है, मैं सिंपल भाषा में समझाता हूँ कि हमारा मसल मास कम होता है, मसल मास के साथ हमारा बोन डेंसिटी भी कम होता है एंड इफ़ वी पर्सन इज़ नॉट लीडिंग एन एक्टिव लाइफ स्टाइल द पेशेंट इज़ प्रोन टू फ्रैक्चर्स। आप देखेंगे एल्डरली में जो मेजर फ्रैक्चर्स होते हैं दे आर यूजुअली बाथरूम इंजरीज, स्लिप ऑन फ्लोर, या बिकॉज ऑफ डिम लाइट पेशेंट हैज़ अ स्लिप और स्लिप्स स्टेयर एंड ही हैज़ अ फॉल. Because of not leading an active sedentary lifestyle, dim light and not an active way he is living, they are at high risk of having fractures. Bone density कम रहती है, muscle mass कम रहता है, balance कम चले जाता है patients का, and you are again at higher risk of fracture.
And how they can prevent this from happening?
So now, how can you prevent fractures is something not in a single way I could describe it to you, but patient की तरफ से देखें तो he'll have to adopt multiple ways. आपको आपका nutrition अच्छा रखना है, one. The other goal is that I always say any patient who comes to my OPD, geriatric OPD, keep yourself mobile, keep moving as much as you can move. Keep yourself more mobile. Involve in some exercises so that your muscle mass is not going to go down as per your age, which will also enhance your bone density and your bone mass and will keep you more supple. And then there are less chances of having fracture.
Great. The second most commonly asked question that was there was, what is slip disc or sciatica? Because that is very commonly, but what people in the young age are also suffering from.
ये ना एक बहुत ही बड़ा कॉमन सवाल है और अधिकतर मेरे को लगता है 70% ऑफ माई OPD इज़ विद स्लिप डिस्क, बैक पेन, स्लिप डिस्क, और मे बी बैक पेन नो रेडिएटिंग पेन, और मे बी बैक पेन विद रेडिएटिंग पेन. सो लेट मी मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज़ अ स्लिप डिस्क. हमारी जो स्पाइन होती है उसमें हमारे 3 कॉमन चीज़ें हैं जिस पे हम हमेशा ध्यान देते हैं ना. आई टेल माई पेशेंट दीज आर द 3 स्ट्रक्चर्स विच कैन कॉज यू डिस्कम्फर्ट. वन इज़ अ वर्टिबल बॉडी, second is a disc, and third is the nerves which are exiting from your spinal cord or your thecal sac. Now disc is something like a cushion between 2 vertebral bodies. So it is something which will degenerate or wear with time. Usually क्या होता है, in young age when patient come with sciatica or slip disc, it is mostly traumatic or it could be congenital somewhere. ऐसा canal stenosis है, छोटा सा canal है, उसमें डिस्क थोड़ी सी निकल आती है, स्टूट करती है, पेशेंट को रेडिएटिंग या स्लिप डिस्क वाले सिम्टम्स या sciatica जिसे बोलते हैं वो सिम्टम्स आते हैं. यूजुअली ट्रोमैटिक यंग एज को अफेक्ट करता है, एथलीट्स को अफेक्ट करता है, रॉन्ग पोस्चर ऑफ योर एक्सरसाइज और स्पोर्ट्स, जर्किंग एक्टिविटीज़ होती हैं, उसकी वजह से डिस्क पर प्रेशर पड़ता है, दैट डिस्क कम्स आउट एंड स्टार्ट्स इम्पिंजिंग ऑन योर नर्व.
ओके.
एल्डरी लोगों में इट इज़ मोस्ट लाइकली बिकॉज ऑफ डीजनरेटिव चेंजेस, एज रिलेटेड चेंजेस. हमारे डिस्क धीरे धीरे इज़ नॉट वर्किंग द वे इट शुड वर्क when you're young. It starts coming out, extruding out, protruding out, and start pressing on your nerves, and again you start having sciatica or slip disc. These are the most common causes ki why a person lands up with slip disc.
Okay. So surgery is the only solution for this?
No. So when we see at least say 100 patients and nobody with back pain and leg pain, surgery is not the only solution. It needs to be very well understood कि patient को अगर motor deficit है, मोटर डेफिसिट मतलब उसको वीकनेस हो रही है, मसल्स में वीकनेस हो रही है, लोअर लिम में वीकनेस हो रही है, फीट में वीकनेस हो रही है, या उसको यूरिन मोशन में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, देन हाईली देयर आर चांसेस कि येस यू माइट लैंड अप विद सर्जरी. या उसको अगर क्रॉनिक पेन है, लेग पेन है जो उसको डिस्टर्ब करता है उसकी डेली एक्टिविटीज़ में, देन वी कैन थिंक ही माइट नीड अ सर्जरी, बट दैट इज़ ऑल्सो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन क्लिनिकली कैसा उसका इवेल्युएशन है, रेडियोग्राफिक उसका कैसा इवैल्यूएशन है, एमआरआई पे उसका कैसा इवैल्यूएशन है, एंड देन वी सम अप एंड देन वी कम आउट टू अ कंक्लूजन दैट विल यू नीड जस्ट सर्जरी और नॉट. मोस्टली पेशेंट्स डोंट नीड सर्जरी, यू नीड सम लाइफस्टाइल मॉडिफिकेशंस. क्योंकि ये पेशेंट्स जो होते हैं इनमें डिस्क प्रोट्रूड करती है, एक्सट्रूड नहीं करती है. इन पेशेंट्स में रेडिकुलोपैथी या रेडिएटिंग पेन, लेग पेन स्टार्ट होता है, एंड विच कैन वेरी वेल बी प्रिवेंटेड विद एक्सरसाइजेज एंड सम मेडिसिन्स. Some other alternatives that we think in patients if not getting good relief with physiotherapy and medicines is use of epidural steroids, caudal blocks or nerve blocks. So intermediate बीच में pathway है हमारे पास before we land up into a surgery. If we start doing proper lifestyle modifications, proper exercises, we will not land up into a surgical solution. But say for a patient, हर patient के specific complaints रहते हैं. Somebody is coming with motor deficit, weakness in lower limbs, urine motion is not very well controlled, he is having hesitancy or incontinence. For them, for sure, he might land up with a surgery. But mostly, I would say 90% we can always manage with physiotherapy, medicines, and a good lifestyle.
And a good lifestyle is very important.
Very, very important.
So sir, talking about general or all age groups, what are the myths and misconceptions about orthopedic surgeries?
Myths and misconceptions about orthopedic surgeries. So first is a orthopedic surgery आपने कराई, बोन की सर्जरी कराई तो ज़िंदगी भर दर्द रहेगा, आपका मूवमेंट वापस नहीं आ पाएगा, या आपकी जॉइंट में स्टिफनेस रहेगी या सपलनेस रहेगी. ये कुछ सवाल होते हैं जो पेशेंट्स हमसे रेगुलरली पूछते हैं. तो लेट मी बी वेरी क्लियर विद दिस. वंस की आपकी एक ऑर्थोपेडिक बोन की कोई भी सर्जरी हुई है, बी इट एनी नी और हिप और एनी स्पाइन प्रॉब्लम, the physio or the rehab which follows is very important, because we're not only dealing with bone, we're also dealing with a musculoskeletal complex, so we have to work on them all together. So bone health के साथ जो हम आपको करेंगे, आपको अपनी रिहैब पे भी काम करना है जिससे आप अपनी फंक्शनल एक्टिविटीज़ में नियर नॉर्मल आते हैं. सो ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जरीज का ये मिसकंसेप्शन है कि सर्जरी हो गई, आपने एक्टिविटी नहीं करी तो आपका फंक्शन अच्छा आएगा. नहीं, इट्स अ प्रोसेस. Once a surgery is done, you'll have to have a very regular follow-up with your doctor and also very good follow-up with your physiotherapist. So every surgery, specific surgery for a knee will have a protocol that how do you have to come back to your near normal status. Spine, you have a protocol post-surgery, how do you have to come back to your near normal status. So following a good physiotherapy protocol after orthopedic surgery is an ideal way to go ahead, and that should clear all the myths and misconceptions कि this will land up to into a good problem or a bad problem.
Great. And how do you think technology has changed orthopedic treatments over the years now?
Technology has a major part to play in orthopedic surgeries. Previously, we were not being, as I was in my post-graduation days, we were not very well versed with endoscopic spine surgeries. Now, endoscopic spine surgeries are the trend. Robotic surgeries in knee were not there. So now as science has evolved, robotics has also come into orthopedics, and we have been doing robotic knee replacements as well as navigated assisted spine surgeries. And with the advent of O-arms, good MRI machines and CTs, we can better evaluate our patients, better diagnose those patients, and give them a better surgical outcome.
So you think AI has impacted your field of line also?
So artificial intelligence has not yet impacted surgeons' life, but it is putting some impact on our life by creating a database for us so that we can also understand how does demographic of that area work, And in road traffic accidents, I would also like to bring into point, not in our country but in developed nations, road traffic accidents का एक पूरा database रहता है, and you know at this area in this demography these many road traffic accidents are happening and these many fractures are more common. So AI plays a very important role in those areas कि yes, you can come to know कि इस area में neck or femur fractures are more common because of high speed traffics. So this is one way AI is playing a very important role. Secondly, AI in our surgeries is also playing very important role. We are using software based. So Merrill has a software Pixie that's for knee replacement surgeries. So you can use artificial intelligence to have more software based cuts and precision cuts in while performing surgeries. So yes, it's creating a good impact, and I feel in future as it will keep evolving, we'll have more better surgical outcomes.
So one advice you like to give to patients who are taking painkillers, when should they start seeing an orthopedic specialist?
So painkillers is not a solution. One, painkiller का मतलब है we are only treating symptoms. Whenever any patient comes to me OPD में आके बोलता है सर मैं पेन किलर खा रहा हूँ या मेरा पेन नहीं जा रहा है, आई कीप आस्किंग देम कि आपने ये पेन किलर कहाँ से लिए. पहला सवाल होता है सर फार्मेसी पे गए थे, उसने दवाई दी, खा लेना, 3 दिन में दर्द ठीक हो जाएगा. दिस इज़ नॉट द राइट वे ऑफ अप्रोचिंग towards your symptoms. I think you should always reach first to your doctor, get it analyzed. It could be a muscle pain only, or it could be something more complex, but it should be analyzed by a specialist. One. Two, why not painkillers and when should you use painkillers? Four things I always tell my patients: if anything is inhibiting your activities, daily activities, rush to your doctor. If you feel you're taking painkillers, more than 3 painkillers in a day, rush to your doctor. If you feel that you're getting more irritable, you're having more mood swings because of that symptom of pain, again rush to your doctor. And if you feel that these symptoms have been causing you trouble since quite a long period of time, it could be 3 months or maybe more than 3 months, you have to rush to your doctor. Taking over the counter painkillers, I never suggest my patients. Taking a paracetamol is okay, but if you feel it is coming again, you should go towards your specialist.
So sir, talking about working professionals with long sitting hours, how do you think neck and back pain, how can we prevent them from happening?
It's a very very common thing that I have seen in people, and usually आजकल जैसे hectic lifestyle हो गई, this is a very preventable cause where patients हमारे पास आते हैं कि सर हमारा जॉब डेस्क जॉब है, कॉर्पोरेट जॉब है, 9 to 9 रहता है, कुछ लोगों की शिफ्ट 6 to मॉर्निंग की रहती है, एंड दे लैंड अप विद प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ हैविंग नेक पेन एंड बैक पेन. First, how can you avoid them? Things to avoid: do not indulge into long sitting hours. If you are having a job that makes you sit for 9 to 9, try taking a 45 minutes micro break, sit and stand and keep working in between. 2, do not cradle on your phone. Don't keep looking down on your phone up and down. Even if you have to do that, try keeping your phone or your desk at an eye level. That will also reduce your neck pain and lower back pain. And third, you can use lumbar supports on your desk or your chairs. That will if you start doing those things, you can reduce your back pain and neck pains. Secondly, what I feel ki involving yourself in regular stretching and exercises, like having a regular gentle neck to neck exercises, side to sideways, doing your shrugs, rolling up your shoulders while on your desk job, you can reduce those symptoms of back and neck pain. And I think ergonomics has a very important role to play whenever you have a long working hour at desk. So I tell my patients that अगर आप desk job पे हो, try sitting at 90 degrees at hip and knee, and your elbows should be right at your desk, so that immediately once your forearms are parallel to the floor, your feet is flat on the ground and it's at a 90-degree angle from the floor, you will not indulge in forward leaning or slouching backwards. So that will again reduce your back pain. Secondly, कुछ पेशेंट्स का कैसा होता है सर, मेरी सिटिंग अलाउ नहीं करती, मुझे गाड़ी की ड्राइविंग बहुत लंबी लंबी रहती है, उनको लोअर बैक पेन होता है. फॉर सच पेशेंट्स आई टेल एंड सच प्रोफेशनल्स आई टेल देम ट्राई यूजिंग अ lower lumbar arc at your seat, at your car seat. Use lumbar arc supports and take again micro breaks. Try changing your positions, sitting in the other way, using a sofa in between, or using a normal desk or a normal chair, or using a long support chair, which should align your spine. Once your back is more aligned, I feel you'll have more better ergonomic and productivity, and you'll have less amount of pain and stiffness in your back and knees.
So people should definitely spend their money on ergonomic chairs
Definitely.
and setup and table.
Definitely. If you see, if you're going and putting your efforts for a job that you have to do 10 to 12 hours in a day, spending something on your ergonomics, also on your desk and your chairs should not be a problem. You should definitely indulge in it.
And what stretches or exercises can professionals do while at work?
Hamstring stretches, lower limbs के लिए hamstring stretches, hamstring tightness, आगे के लिए quadriceps tightness, dynamic glute bridges जहाँ पे आप देखते हैं जिम में you are just lifting up your back,
Yeah.
cat and camel exercises.
Okay.
These are very good exercises for your back. वो आपकी posterior chain back muscles को stretch रखती है and strengthen करती है. Neck के लिए I just tell them do your nice right and left stretching, forward and backward stretching, and keep rolling your shoulders. You can shrug your shoulders in between. That is also very, very gentle and a very normal exercise that you can do on your job, and that can help you get rid of your neck pain.
So, sir, talking of children and growing adults, what are the most common bone issues that you are addressing these days?
So when we talk about children, the most common bone issues, even in children and young adults, is vitamin D deficiency. Secondly, we see vitamin B12 deficiency. And thirdly, in women of young age group having heavy menstrual bleeding, we also see iron deficiencies. So these are three things which we commonly see in our patients: vitamin D deficiency, B12 deficiency, and iron deficiencies.
And we see so many commercials these days about children and supplements. Do you really support that? Are really
I am totally against all those commercials and supplements that are marketed very heavily in our age group, and we see it on TV commercials. So many protein supplements are there, so many other supplements, health supplements are there. So they are not medically evaluated, one. And I think in young children and athletes, if you're having a balanced diet, need any supplements at all.
So, sir, do you think supplements in growing adults are really important these days?
No, I do not think that supplements are really important in a young age group on basically growing children. Because if a person or if a young children is having a good eating habit, he's having a good balanced diet, he's taking his vitamin D through sunlight exposure or taking good amount of fiber in his diet, you do not need any supplements at all. Secondly, these supplements which are marketed very heavily on TVs and ads, they're not medically evaluated. So they are evaluated on different grounds, but not medically evaluated. So we need to understand if a patient or if a person is having some medical issue or a chronic issue or a health issue, you might need to add supplements to it, and then they can benefit from those supplements. But regular base पे daily supplements जो promote हो रहे हैं, I am not a person who would say कि आप regular supplements लो. I am a person who would say that you should have a varied diet, a balanced diet, having eggs, fish if you're a non-vegetarian or a vegan. Then you can take other things which are an alternative, like using dairy products, using more of nuts, using berries. These are more good, and I would say promoting towards good full or eating habit, a good eating habit. Secondly, if you're having a good sunlight exposure, that is very well appreciated. आप अच्छा सनलाइट एक्सपोजर लेंगे, विटामिन डी आपका इंटेक अच्छा रहेगा, यू विल नॉट लैंड अप इनटू विटामिन डी डेफिशिएंसीज. B12 के लिए यू ऑल्सो टेक योर सप्लीमेंट्स. आई डोंट थिंक इफ इट्स रिक्वायर्ड. Only in vegans I suggest patients that now you'll have to take B12 supplements. For vegans, it's very difficult to take poultry and red meat and other products. And for iron, I suggest patients to take more of jaggery, more of berries, and that also helps them to promote their good eating habit. And that is why I'm not very keen on promoting supplements. Yes, if you're having any medical issue, you're having any chronic health issue, and I feel that your protein levels are very down, I feel your iron levels are too down, your vitamin D levels are too down, or maybe your body is not supporting it, then we definitely add supplements, but not on regular basis.
So definitely no for growing adults.
No,
or children.
definitely not. I say that you should keep promoting your child to the same old conventional methods of having everything in a balanced way. Take your fibers, take your nuts, take your berries, take your milk, take your curd, take your eggs and fishes if you like to eat, your non-veg if you like to eat, and that is good enough for promoting a good growing age.
So no shortcuts allowed.
No shortcuts allowed. Good eating habits cannot be replaced.
So, sir, talking about athletes and fitness enthusiasts, what do you think are the most common orthopedic injuries that are there?
So, when we're talking about sports enthusiasts and सबसे ज़्यादा common injuries जिसमें होती हैं, let's start from top to bottom. Shoulder injuries are very common. We see a lot of rotator cuff injuries, supraspinatus injuries. Then once we come down, knee injuries are very common. We see a large amount of patients coming with ACL injuries or meniscal injuries. And once we're going more down, we see more amounts of tendo Achilles injuries also, tendonitis, or we can say bursitis at the heel pain. Patients come with a lot of heel pain. So ये तीन बहुत common injuries हैं.
Sir, do you think overtraining can affect any athlete's bone and joint?
Overtraining definitely affects bone and joint because you need to understand it's a concept of repetitive trauma to your tendon and ligament, and then you're putting the load which is again repetitive. तो आपका लोड शेयर नहीं हो रहा है, आपका लोड रेगुलर इंटरवल्स स्मॉल माइक्रो इंटरवल्स पर बढ़ रहा है. सो रिपीटेटिव ट्रेनिंग से ओवर ट्रेनिंग से क्या होता है, आप टेंडन लिगामेंट को ओवर स्ट्रेन करते हो. टेंडन लिगामेंट मसल बोन सबका एक थ्रेशोल्ड है. बियॉन्ड दैट थ्रेशोल्ड यू विल स्टार्ट हैविंग माइक्रो टीयर्स.
Okay.
And those micro tears in early stages can heal well if you give them good amount of nutrition and sleep, and body is repairing on its own pace. But if not repaired and again overtraining is there, it can land up into some partial to incomplete tears or maybe into a full tear. So yes, overtraining does affect it, and that is why I tell my clients and patients and all professionals, athletes, even if you have to train, try taking good nutrition, more breaks, warm up yourself prior to it, and then indulge into your activity or that schedule for that day.
So, what do you think is the safest way to recover without having any long-term effects?
The safest way to recover is, I say my patients that even if you're a athlete or a professional athlete, try taking good breaks. If you're working 7 times in a week, try bring it down to 5 times in a week so that you have 2 days of recovery. You have good amount of nutrition, you take a balanced nutrition, and you have smaller intervals of training. So smaller intervals of high intensity training are good than having a long interval where you put your body in a catabolic state. So let it be in an anabolic state, get good recovery, good nutrition, and then again put on the load. It should not be on the same day or maybe like putting a large amount of training.
So, how does strength training help in preventing any orthopedic issues?
स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग हैज़ इट्स रोल. आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग. आप स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग करेंगे, आपका मसल मास इंप्रूव करेगा. मसल मास इंप्रूव करेगा तो आपकी वैस्कुलरिटी, मसल को जो बोन ब्लड सप्लाई मिल रहा है, बोन को जो ब्लड सप्लाई मिल रहा है वो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा. एंड आपकी जो न्यूट्रिशंस आप ले रहे हो वो डेफिनेटली विल रीच मोर बेटर एब्जॉर्ब्ड एंड यूल हैव अ बेटर रिकवरी. सो येस, स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग इज़ वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. अब ट्रेनिंग भी बहुत स्पेसिफिक है, इम्पैक्टफुल हम सोचते हैं एथलीट के लिए. तो क्या होगा, is he in his endurance training program, is he in his only strength based program, or is he just going for movement of your joint or trying to maintain its joints mobility and suppleness of the muscle. So depending upon आप किस प्रकार से अपनी एक्टिविटी फॉर व्हाट स्पोर्ट में इन्वॉल्व हैं, उस हिसाब से अपनी ट्रेनिंग, रिकवरी मॉड्यूल और न्यूट्रिशन को आपको डिफाइन करना चाहिए एंड उसी हिसाब से आपको उसको चेंज करना चाहिए.
Okay. So, thank you so much for your insightful and knowledgeable session. I am sure that the audience is going to take away a lot of good points and great advices that sir has shared with us. So, thank you so much for coming and thank you for the wonderful session.
Thank you for having me here. Really appreciate it.